Yo, what's up everybody? Back with another day of showing you how I'm going to put together my meal plan for the day so that I can hit my nutrient, my calorie goals, my proteins, carbs, and fats. And whenever I say hit them, I mean hit them to the best of my ability. Yesterday was my birthday weekend celebration. We were out too late and I slept in quite a while this morning. And before I knew it, it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon and I had not eaten anything yet. So that makes today's plan a little bit interesting to try to cram in an entire day's worth of food to get the calories that I need to get in such a short period of time. But you know, one thing I did want to mention is on yesterday's video, I talked about it being sort of a day for me where I'm not going to follow my plan. There are some days where I do not follow my plan. I still build them for the sake of consistency, but I don't physically follow the plan. And a lot of people call those like cheat days and cheat meals. And I've never loved that idea of calling it a cheat because it makes it sound like somehow it is a deviation from your plan. Like that somehow it is an opposite of what your plan is trying to accomplish. And one of the things that I've always kind of realized with those is, you know, like if you think of like the stock market goes from real high to real low, but it's never a straight shot. It's impossible. The system is not designed for it to be a straight shot down or a straight shot up. Or even think about like your weight. When you're shooting for a specific weight target, you know, you go up and down, but you want more of whichever direction you're wanting to go than the other side, right? But it's designed, the systems are set up to do that, to where it's supposed to fluctuate. It's expected, and it's just a part of the way that it works. For me, meal plans, when I think about things like cheat meals, for me that's part of it. It's not really a cheat, it's actually a part of the way that the system is designed. For me to stay consistent personally, I've got to keep my sanity. I've got to feel like I'm living a little bit. And to do that, I have to intentionally have days where I'm not following something so strictly. It's not an aberration from the plan. It's not in the face of or despite or in opposition to the plan. It's actually part of my plan. You know, like, so I've had a lot of conversations lately where people talk about like falling off the train because they haven't done the right thing for a few days. In reality, that's kind of the way it's supposed to work. You're supposed to have days that you don't like stay as 100% or 90% as you do on other days. It's just kind of impossible to do that without burning out. These systems are designed to allow for these moments and for these days or even weeks, if it comes down to it, to allow you to do whatever you need to do to be able to stay on the plan long term, right? To get from the top to the bottom of the stock market, it takes time, and you have to allow for those aberrations, and you have to be okay with them when they happen, and don't think of it as like, well, that's it, I'm off the rails, I'm off the track. Believe it or not, that's part of being on the track, is having those days. So, you know, it's a big demotivator for a lot of people when they go through those moments, but they don't realize it's actually how it's supposed to work, and probably more of a sign that you're actually doing it right than doing it wrong. So let's talk about today's food plan, how I'm going to try to build this. We're going to build it together, and I'm going to go ahead and start the app. The app is called My Macros Plus. You can get it on all the app stores. It costs like $3. Well worth it if it helps you stay consistent. Excellent for tracking. So whenever I do these, I've got a 3-step system every single day whenever I build them. It helps me to kind of remember how to build them. It cuts my time down. I don't have to do a lot of thinking. The first step of my 3-step system is I put in my daily staples. And my staples for me are those things which I do every single day that they're consistent. I don't have to say, well, what am I going to have in this particular time of day? For me, those are my pre and my post-workout meals. The reason they're staples and easy for me is because, frankly, they're the same things every time, which is some sort of whey protein drink, and then on my post-workout, some sort of carbs for a post-workout carb boost. And so you can see here, I've already added in my pre-workout here. Got a scoop of the liquid, or the whey protein isolate. And also I have my post-workout as well. Same thing. So that's my first step, is I get in my daily staples just to get the ball rolling, just to get started. My second step in my system is, you know, I ask myself, is there something that I want today that I need to work into my plan to make myself feel like I'm not depriving myself, right? If I'm trying to lose weight and I'm in a caloric deficit, it's easy to feel like that you don't get to have the things you want, that you're being deprived in some way. Well, by adding in, at this point, cravings that you're having, it might help you feel like you're holding on to your sanity a little bit longer, that you can sustain this because you're not in a state of deprivation necessarily. So you would add that in here if you've got any sort of cravings for the day. If you do, add them in. If you don't, it's fine too. You're just going to go on to step 3 once that's done. And step 3 is start building your plan from the beginning of the first time that you eat, and then build it for the rest of the day from that point. So for me, today, since I'm going to be eating around 4 or 5 for the first time, that's when I'm going to build my first meal. In fact, I actually already ate it and put it in here. So that's the point. You'd say, okay, now we're going to go ahead and do the rest of today's, and then that way you follow it for the rest of today. Now, what would have been bad is if I had built this first thing in the morning thinking, well, this is my food for the day. This is what I'm going to eat, without realizing I wasn't even going to be able to eat until 5 o'clock. That would have ruined my entire plan that I built this morning. That's why I recommend waiting until your first your first meal of the day. Wait till you're actually eating, track that meal, and then go ahead and start building from the rest of the day, because at least you know the time frame that you have left to eat. So what I did here for this 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock meal, whatever it was, at 6 o'clock now, so this was about 5 o'clock. I'm trying to cram a bunch of stuff in this small window. So what I've done here is 2 buffalo chicken patties. These are the vegan patties from Walmart. I've got them on almost every day's meals. I love them. They're easy. Throw them in the microwave, 2 minutes, done. Threw some guacamole on there, just these little cups of guacamole I get from Walmart. Also, some non-flavored, non-fat Greek yogurt. It reminds me of sour cream, and I love sour cream, so I put that on a lot of things. Got some jalapeno stuffed green olives, and these are just kind of a side thing. I just eat them whole because I like them. A little bit of that on the side. Some fat-free mozzarella cheese. Tell you what's interesting about the fat-free cheeses is obviously there's no fat, but they're nice proteins, like snags too. You can see here 6.11 grams of protein for only 1.36 grams of carbs. So really nice on those fat-free cheeses. Did I put non-flavored in there twice? Oh, I sure did. One of these is not correct, and it is the 50. I'm going to remove that. Okay. And then so after the green olives and the buffalo chicken patties, what I had is a wrap. Is a deli turkey, sliced turkey wrap. Put it in a wrap, just rolled it up, ate it, nothing else went on it. You can see here I've got the prima deli turkey there. I need to put in the actual wrap itself. I have not done that yet. Plain wellness wrap for lunch. All right. So for my lunch, 738 total calories. Normally my lunch is around 400 to 500. So trying to get some more in to this small window. And so that's where we left. Oh, I've had a couple of snacks today too, just trying to kind of start eating. I've had a Quest chocolate chip protein cookie, and then a frozen fruit bar. These are just 15 carb fruit bars from Walmart, nothing special. So you can see at the top, I've got 1,279 total calories remaining. Now on days like this, if you look at the numbers even above that, I've almost cleared out my allotment for fat for the day. I'm at 9.5 grams of fat remaining and a lot of protein and a lot of carbs to go. So in an unusual day like this, the challenge becomes, how can I eat in a way that does not blow out my fat to something ridiculous and try to just knock these proteins and carbs down? So that's what we're going to try to attempt to do here. So I'm thinking protein heavy, carb heavy, heavy, and try to get rid of the fat. So let's talk about something like, how about for dinner, I can do some of those Bush's baked beans, the fat-free vegetarian ones. And so let's start there. These are country styles, what they call them. I'm going to bump that up. I got to bump it up. We got to get crazy here. So let's do for dinner. All right, so we've knocked down some carbs. Let's start thinking here, protein sources. I also got a bunch of sliced deli chicken today. Let's do some, I don't even know if I've got deli chicken, actually, now that I think about it. Have I had that before? Recent foods, customs. Let's see if I've had chicken. Chicken breast. No. Deli chicken. There we go. Good. So let's say, let's do about 150 grams of that. That's 32 grams. It's a lot of chicken, but that's going to be good there. And what I'll do is I'll probably split that between 2 different wraps. I'm just trying to get some food going here. Some larger quantities. Might make me full. It might be difficult to eat, but we're going to make it happen. Plain wellness wrap. Let's do 2 of them. So it's going to be a wrap day. All right. So let's take a look at what this does for our overall numbers. You know, our fat still is above 0, so that's good. We've done a good job of knocking out a bunch of the proteins and carbs without going too far into the fat. And so we still have to keep going. 814 total calories remaining. I want to get at least 500 more off the table here. So I'm thinking some liquid egg whites. Why am I choosing that? Well, that's all protein. There's no carbs, no fat, no nothing. And that'd be a nice kind of late night breakfast snack. I did that earlier this week. Let's do, let me see, this would be a cup. Let's do a cup and a half. That'd be 24 ounces. Okay, and that's going to be a snack. All right. And we'll do a side of flavored Greek yogurt there. This is fat-free as well. I don't know, it says 1 avinong. I don't know what that is. I think I've misspelled serving. But 12 grams of protein, 8 of carbs, no fat. That's nice. Let's take a look how we're doing. Then a 534 remaining. So I really want to get about 200 more calories, or 200 more total calories. You know, my dinner looks fine. Where'd my dinner go? Dinner is the baked beans and the 2 wraps. That's a good sized dinner. So I'm just trying to fill this in with some snacks now. You know what I might do? Let's talk about this. One thing you can do when you're trying to find ways to add more in is you can actually go back and change the current volume of what you've already got in there to something a little bit higher. For example, I'm going to bump up my whey protein, my staples, from 1 scoop to 2 scoops for each one. I'm sorry, 1.5 scoops. That's going to help knock some of this protein down. Oh, actually, now I'm over on protein. That was a big boost. Over on protein. I still got a lot of carbs that I probably need to still kind of catch up on because I'm 394 calories away from my max. And I want to be less than 300 there. So let's think of things that are carb only. Let's add in another fruit bar. Those are carb only. It's not a lot. It's only going to bump it up by 15, but we're just going to start knocking some of this down. Let's talk about things that are carbs. How about some raisins, right? I love raisins. Do I have that on here still? I sure do. 100 grams. It seems high. Let's go ahead and put it in there and see what that does. Whew, that knocked it down a lot. That actually put me way over on my carbs. Let's get rid of that. Can't be that high. Let's knock that down to about, I probably wasn't thinking straight there. There we go. That's better. And so with that little bit of carb boost from the raisins are all carbs, no proteins, no fats. I have a little bit of protein, but nothing worth anything. So what we've ended up here with is a day that seemed like it was going to be difficult because of a very small window of time. We've just been able to sort of increase the volume on each of these meals and make this work. Our lunch is done. We've got a nice sized dinner with those baked beans and wraps tonight. We've got a lot of snacks, but I've already been through some of the fruit bar, the chocolate chip cookie. I'm going to have some nice breakfast tonight. I already did my pre and my post workout stuff. So like I'm looking good here. My overall numbers at the top, 244 total calories remaining underneath the max. So I want to be between 2,400 and 2,700. That's a 300 calorie swing. So anything less than 300 is good here. And it says 244, so I'm looking good there. I went over on my protein just a little bit, but if I'm going to go over on any of them, that's the one I want to go over on. And my carbs and fat, maybe normal days I'd want to flip-flop them and switch those as far as who had the most. But on an unusual day like today, I'm not going to go too crazy about it. I'm not going to get too wild about making it perfect because frankly some days are just about like doing the best you can and being okay with that. And on a birthday weekend where I'm still in a bit of a funk from yesterday, this is an absolute win. So hopefully this was helpful for you. Every day that you do these, it's just some sort of variation of a puzzle. Every day is kind of different foods, different times of days that you're eating. So you just get used to doing these as time goes on. Again, the app's called My Macros Plus. Check it out on all of the app stores. Thank you all for watching. If this was helpful, please hit the like button on it. Maybe even the subscribe while you're here. I do these videos every single day. Speaking of, we'll see you on tomorrow's video. Peace.